It's long overdue that I talked about the Great Reset, or the World Economic Forum's sinister plot to. Wait a minute. What is that? Down there. You see that? Here, let me help you out. This. What is this? This is the same stupid messaging that I saw on Financial Fitness's video about the Great Reset a couple of days ago. And come to think of it, the Economic Ninja just did a video about the Great Reset, and they did this to his video too. Well, we didn't put that there. What gives? So first we need to understand what the Great Reset is. Now, the official definition for the Great Reset that they use their context to communicate to you is that it was the name for the 2020 annual World Economic Forum in Davos. Now, the WEF, if you don't already know, is this gaggle of obscenely wealthy people from all over the world, led by this walking, talking caricature of a James Bond villain named Klaus Schwab. Well, once a year, they squeeze thousands of private jets into tiny little Swiss airports so that they can congregate at their little egomaniacal globalist convention held every year in Davos, Switzerland. There they attend extravagant parties and listen to stupid elitist speeches about how you and I need to use less energy and eat less meat so that they can become even more obscenely wealthy. Well, at the 2020 meeting in Davos, the theme was the Great Reset, which is all about using the pandemic as a springboard to propel the world into conforming with their narrow view about how everyone should be made to live. This is, of course, all presented under a veil of benevolence and philanthropy, when really what they're doing is trying to seize even more political power using COVID as an excuse. Who ordered some context? Kate, you know I didn't order any context.
No, really? Who ordered some context? The World Health Organization? You see, I can't talk about COVID on YouTube.
Shouldn't you be wearing your stupid face diaper? You'll pardon my Keynesian evil twin. He's a happy little cog in Klaus Schwab's machine. Anyway, as I was saying, the Great Reset is the WEF's goal of how you and I should be forced to live. The catchphrase that they used was that you will own nothing and be happy. No, really, I'm not making that up. That is an actual screen grab from the WEF's website. Own nothing and be happy means we peasants of the world will rent our entire existence from the uber wealthy ruling class. They also want you to use far less energy. The WEF wants to smother the oil and gas industry, which means making things like fueling your car or heating your home entirely unaffordable for just about everyone. Not them, of course. They own the companies that sell the stuff or that rent you everything, so they'll become even richer as prices rise. They've also said that you'll have to eat less meat. Again, you eat less meat. Men like Klaus Schwab and Larry Fink have precisely zero intention of skipping one steak dinner ever. Will you stop that? The weaponization of inflation to destroy the middle class is one of the ways that these global elites can achieve their Great Reset goals. Do you think it's an accident that the wealth gap between the rich and the poor has exploded since the start of the pandemic? Do you think it's an accident that small business has been absolutely obliterated by the lockdowns? Meanwhile, big tech and S&P 500 monopolies have captured vast amounts of market share from those smaller competitors who've been driven out of business. Do you think it's an accident that the price of food and fuel is now exploding even as we speak? Remember, they want you to use less fuel and eat less meat. Under the Great Reset, the WEF cannot allow a middle class. They need two classes of people, themselves and everyone else. The middle class is notoriously difficult to control because they own their own homes and they consume whatever they want to consume, not what the government allows them to have. So to achieve their goals, the WEF needs the middle class out of the way. And what better way to destroy the middle class than with inflation? Inflation that they caused with their lockdowns, creating a shortage of goods and services, while at the same time their ubiquitous stimulus spending flooded the market with a gluttonous excess of currency that is now chasing even less stuff.
Well, you see, during periods of economic turmoil, easy monetary policy and government spending via stimulus can be used to offset.
Shut your modern monetary mouth, Kay. I'm telling Mom. He is the worst. The inflation brought about by the lockdowns and the stimulus of the pandemic have moved the world further and further towards the goals set by the WEF under the Great Reset. Now the outbreak of war, both kinetic and economic, is doing the same thing. Now, what you're looking at is the messaging that the World Economic Forum wants you to see. And since YouTube owner Alphabet is founded and run by members of the WEF, they want to make sure that the information you're getting about the Great Reset is the information that they want you to have. And so they provide you with context. But to see through their evil ploy, we need only view their subliminal messaging through the filter of Nobody Special's magic freedom glasses. Uh-huh. See? Huh? Yeah. See? I knew it. They can't have free thinkers going around opining about the potential negative aspects of the Great Reset, like the end of civil liberties as we know it, a total lack of economic opportunity or upward mobility, not to mention the exploding global wealth gap. Those are considered extremist views, views that need to be countered with context. Ugh, jeez. See, big tech is a willing participant in this soft form of censorship and subliminal messaging. By pasting their context or hyper-partisan fact-checking onto any messaging that they deem to be troublesome, they can slowly but surely shape public opinion in a way that's favorable to the WEF's goals.
But Jack, aren't you getting paid by YouTube and therefore you're technically complicit in this scheme?
So what can you do to protect yourself from Klaus Schwab's agenda? Well, there's a couple of things. First, you can preserve your wealth from the eroding effects of inflation by owning physical precious metals like gold and silver. You can also divest yourself from the establishment financial system by owning cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin or Ethereum. Both precious metals and cryptocurrency is money that they can't control. You could also start a side hustle or a small business. Again, small business owners and the middle class are the biggest thorn in the side of the WEF. Another thing you can do is start developing a basic skill, such as economically producing your own food, or the ability to maintain an engine or fix something, or some other skill that will allow you to adapt or barter in the event of a hyperinflation scenario. Another thing you can do is you can get the word out. You can share this video. You can tell your friends. You can be the counter context. This way, Klaus Schwab and his cronies in big tech won't be able to control the narrative. You do these things, and instead of eating bugs and riding to work on high-speed electric roller skates, you'll be able to make up your own minds, determine the course of your own life, and you can tell Klaus Schwab and his henchmen to kiss your assets. And if you want to know more about how these global elitists like Klaus Schwab and Larry Fink are about to cause global starvation, you can check out this video I did about a sudden shift in their messaging. Until next time, live small and dream big.